There's not much to say more about
Yeah,
the
I
can.
mean, I think it's really just time to crack her open and see what it's all about.
Let's do it. You want to give her a crack?
Yeah, ready?
3, 2, 1. She's crisp. Oh, she's hoppy.
Very hoppy.
With our glasses in our hands, the hops and barley bloom in a land of craft and cans. Every sip, a story shared. Review and taste we dare with our Sunday sips. Sunday sips. Every for a trip.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Sunday Sips. I'm your host, Kyle Lucas, my co-host.
Nick Woodard.
That's right, Big Nick. Today we are going to continue on the path we have chosen to go down, the NA path. We're in the middle of our Trail Pass series for Sierra Nevada, and I do believe this is the second one we're trying. We've already done the IPA, and this is the hazy version.
There you go.
Really nice.
Look at that puppy.
Really colorful. It's really cool looking. This is in the variety pack, so it comes in a hazy, like a Bruvesa kind of, a IPA and a golden ale. So we will be covering those. This is just the second one. No particular order, just kind of grabbed them as we went. We did go for the IPA first though, but from here on out it will be no particular order. We are doing this non-alcoholic line just to remind you because some of us are sober still, and some of us have broken. He did do.
I did a sober
He
October.
did a full month.
Then we had a vacation in Hawaii, and how you're not going to drink a Mai Tai and
That's
go
not
to
fair.
Kona Brewing Company
That's
and
not fair to
try
you.
Kona
Yeah.
Brewers and all that. And I have not returned to sobriety since.
Yeah.
We have some things coming up that we're going to be getting into, but I'm proud of this guy for going through the rest of the year. And in honor of that, we are going to continue with our non-alcoholic reviews. Really excited about this one. It is a hazy IPA, which is kind of my bread and butter. So we're going to see what this is all about. I'm very curious to see how close it's going to get to a, Sierra Nevada hazy little thing, which is kind of my gold standard for hazy IPAs.
It's the bar.
It is
the bar for sure.
So looking forward to trying it. The first trail pass that we tried was really solid.
It was solid for the IPA.
Yeah, for a non-alcoholic IPA, it was, not much more you could hope for. So I think it's really just going to get better from here. I think the hazy IPA will be great. I think, and this is put a little spoilers out there because we may or may not have already tried the Bruvesa, the other Sierra Nevada, one of the other Sierra Nevada non-alcoholics, and it's pretty fantastic for a non-alcoholic beer. So you guys will have to stay tuned for that one. But today, trying the hazy, trying to see what it's all about.
Yeah. First off, before we pop her open, the can's really cool. It's like a teal. It's really nice. It does have the standard Trail Pass like geographic markings on it. And then they also have like the little graphic of the Sierra Nevada like simple graphics up here, and then what I was talking about, the geographical down here. That's kind of standard for the Trail Pass series. It's pretty cool. I like it. There's not much to say more.
Yeah, I think it's really just time to crack her open and see what it's all about.
You want to give her a crack?
Yeah, ready?
3, 2, 1. She's crisp. Oh, she's hoppy.
Ooh, very hoppy.
Good head.
I already have thoughts.
You already have thoughts?
I already have thoughts.
By the color of it?
Yeah.
It's very bubbly,
Not even, I mean,
very carbonated. I mean, it's hazy.
it is, so it's hazy. It smells like a hazy typically would. The thing that's jumping out to me just from pouring it into a glass is, and I'm not sure how well it's going to come off on camera here, but I used to tell our good buddy Bryant Macon that the best beer is a beer that you can't see through at all. It's got a nice cloud to it, and that's really kind of what hazy IPAs are known for.
So unfiltered.
And this to me has like a resemblance of that cloud, but it's like a light version.
It is.
Like
It is.
that's what I'm getting out of it. It looks like a diet hazy just from the looks of
a
it.
diet hazy. That's good.
That's
Yeah.
kind of what I'm getting.
really good.
So we're gonna see. Let's give her a
Give it a little
taste.
sip. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Whoa. That's crazy.
Whoa is right.
It's not as. I mean, I feel like it's kind of obvious to say this, but it's not as full bodied
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
normal hazy. But
Yeah.
it's definitely trying to it's definitely like reaching for the right notes to hit. Like
Yep.
it's semi fruity, pretty hoppy, not that heavy. You know what I mean?
No.
It's really good.
No, I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely trying to hit fruit notes in there, like a nice hazy. I'm very. It's very carbonated. I really like that. It's kind of like refreshing in that sense. It's pretty hoppy for a hazy. More hoppy than a traditional hazy would be. Like I guess in a certain way, like it's more like piney in a on that note than a hazy would be. But I'm definitely getting fruit like notes in there.
Yeah.
Bitterness units, the BU.
So I didn't realize that there. I mean, it makes sense, but I didn't realize that there would be IBUs available for non-alcoholic
Yeah.
beers. I'm not assuming that every non-alcoholic beer is going to have them, but Sierra Nevada does have the stats for us on pretty much everything. They do have ABV, which they list as less than 0.5%. If you're new to beer, standard alcohol percentage in a beer is anywhere between 4 and 7% typically, and then once you get into double IPAs and stouts and stuff that tends to have a little bit more alcohol in them, you get into the 9 to 12%. But
the good
4
stuff.
4 to 8 is typical. So this is still considered non-alcoholic because it's less than 0.5%.
Yeah.
Um,
So I mean, you could get a little messed up here.
if you had like 90 of them, yeah.
Yeah. If I mean, if you're concerned about drinking too many, it doesn't. It's you have to drink too many of them to get you messed up.
Yeah.
The bitterness units is 40.
Yeah,
That's-
which seems like a lot for a non-alcoholic.
I feel like it's not that bitter to me,
No.
but it's got like a sweet tinge to it. There is bitterness there, obviously, but it's not like, I don't know, 40. I can't quite remember the other compared to the other ones we tried, but I feel like the IPA definitely for the Trail Pass was a little more bitter than this. This is a really good summery drink. I would really like to do to like be at like a park and have this, not in public. Never.
Yeah. So we went to a Friendsgiving yesterday, and I want to say, I don't know if you were there for this interaction, but you fooled everyone,
Really?
because several people came up to me, "Oh, what's Kyle drinking?" And I was like, "Oh, he's doing sober through the rest of the year.
Mhm.
He's drinking a trail. I shouldn't say everyone. A number of people came up to me. Burke, my
Mhm.
brother-in-law, came up to me, and he goes, well, I was talking to him about sober October and stuff like that, and I go, well, Kyle's still doing the sober thing. He's doing it through the rest of the year and actually through his birthday. And he goes, but what's he? Isn't he drinking a beer right now? And I'm like,
yeah.
no, he's drinking a non-alcoholic beer. So you have one of these at a party, no one's gonna know. It looks
Dude,
like a
looks
Sierra
like
Nevada beer.
I mean, it still says Sierra Nevada
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that your thumb just kind of goes right over the non-alcoholic part.
That might have been by design.
You know, brilliant, Sierra Nevada. If you did that, not saying you did, but if you did, Jesus. And I wasn't just drinking these; I was drinking all different kinds of brands. That we will review
We'll touch
a couple
on
of those.
in the future. Yeah.
Excuse me, I told you it's carbonated.
Yeah.
The actually, I would like to touch on that because we at that Friendsgiving yesterday was the first kind of instance. I didn't even realize this that I was testing out, actually applying non-alcoholics to like a party.
Yeah,
scene.
social settings,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
And I had a great time. So, I had a fantastic time. The I don't know we touched on this. We've touched on this before, but like the stigma of like being at a party and not having something, and then the host is always like, "Oh, can I get you something?" But this really fills the gaps. I never felt like I was cheating something at the party, even though plenty of other people were just kicking back drinks and
Right.
stuff. I still felt like I was like fitting in, so it was a good vibe. This is really good.
I like this a lot.
Growing. This is growing on me more.
Yeah.
More and more.
I want to look at something that we found on the website for Sierra Nevada, specifically about their non-alcoholic beers. I'm going to read this right now about how they make their non-alcoholic beers. Trail Pass uses traditional brewing methods, not alcohol removal, to create full and balanced flavor below the non-alcoholic 0.5% ABV threshold. This approach stays true to the craft spirit and frankly delivers a product that tastes like beer. I mean, that from everything we're tasting, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
They said, but it took 5 years of exhaustive development to get it just right. And there was a point after countless test batches when we almost threw in the towel until an innovative yeast came along. So that to me, we talked about this, I think maybe with the first Trail Pass that we did. It always feels like Sierra Nevada is a step or two ahead.
Yeah.
And we've seen this kind of renaissance of non-alcoholic beers really, for me, the last couple of years at most, last 18 months to 2 years, you've really seen these pop up and gain popularity. Sierra Nevada has been working on this apparently for 5 years now.
Yeah.
To really try and come out with something that they could stand behind and be proud of, something that tastes like a beer should, but doesn't have the alcoholic properties that a beer typically comes with. They practice makes perfect, I guess, but they figured something out because these are delicious.
I could drink this. I could drink this for lunch, for dinner, in between. Like I said, like if you're kicking back in the backyard, this hazy is gonna be killer, absolutely killer. It's a lot lighter than a regular like hazy, right? Like a hazy little thing. That's probably why, like, if you're in the sun a lot, probably a lot of hazy little things like the actual alcoholic ones would be probably a little heavy. But I mean, I could down like 6-pack of these, outside. It's no problem.
No problemo.
Yeah, I am getting that real weird, like pine flavor, that I got with the IPA too. That just might be just that like, what do you like, a diet taste as much as I'm saying, like a
Yeah.
non-alcoholic taste,
Yeah.
but something to fill in where the alcohol's not there. But it's not bad. It's not bad by any means. It's just apparent that it's there. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And I get that really weird flavor in most non-alcoholic drinks that I've tried. Not just Sierra Nevada.
Sure.
Um,
I think that's right now. That's pretty inescapable.
Yeah.
I mean, I think innovation is going to come. I think we're, really in terms of craft non-alcoholic beer,
mhm,
it's really in its infancy.
mhm.
So I think you're going to get to a point where you have something that tastes exactly like the real thing, and I think we're getting closer and closer with things like these trail pass non-alcoholics. So I apologize for the feedback a little bit earlier, but I wanted to pull up the scoring that we had on our first Sierra Nevada non-alcoholic beer, which was the standard Trail Pass IPA. Um, we both ranked it pretty high in terms of how we tend to rank things, and
Is very good.
it was a
very
darn good beer.
Um,
You were at a 7.5 for your first for the Trail Pass
Mhm.
IPA. I was slightly higher at a 7.75, which I just want to add a little bit of context into that when we get to the point where we're getting ready to score this. Which
Yeah.
I think we're pretty much there.
pretty
I
much
think we
there.
can.
I just wanted to add one more thing that I said in the last video too. I believe with the IPA one is it does so much better because of the fact that this is not a hazy little thing. NA. It is its own different brand. So you're not getting that feeling of like, oh, this isn't a hazy. Like it's this is just like a hazy that sucks. This is just a whole different drink altogether.
Right.
So I feel like I'm not missing anything. I feel like I'm given something.
Right.
And that's it. It honestly just makes it taste
Right.
better.
There's a
It
big
really
there's a
does.
big differentiator there. I mean, and again, we're rehashing what we
Mhm.
mentioned before, but we've talked about like a Heineken Zero, like it really gives you just it's a Heineken, but not like a like a
Full.
fake
Yeah.
Heineken.
Yeah.
It's like having a Diet Coke instead of a Coke. It's not.
Mhm.
It's fine, but it's not the real thing. Sierra Nevada created their own line of non-alcoholic beers. They're not just trying to make a non-alcoholic pale ale.
Mhm.
They're not trying to make a non-alcoholic hazy little thing, like you said. They stand by themselves and have their own profile in terms of all of that. So
It's really nice.
I think that is kind of the way to go if you're trying to make something that people are actually going to enjoy.
Mhm.
Something that's not going to just make them reminiscent of the real deal, but something that's going to be able to stand on its own and have its own
Its own foothold.
Yeah.
And its own identity.
Yep.
Yeah. So you want to score it?
I do want to score it.
All right. I'll go. You take the wheel from this one.
And this is
'Cause I want to keep
tough, and
drinking.
this is cheating a little bit because I've tasted the next one that we're going to review already.
Yeah.
So I have an idea of where I want to rank that. So with that in mind, this definitely gets ranked higher than the standard IPA for me, the standard Trail Pass
Really?
IPA. I'm gonna go with a flat 8 on the Trail Pass Hazy IPA. I like it a lot.
All right.
I like the IPA standard, but as we said at the beginning of this, Hazy IPA is my bread and butter. It's got that. It's got that all of the qualities that you would look for in a hazy, just maybe 90% of the way there, and leaves off just a little, but it's about as close as I think you can get right now to having a hazy IPA without having the alcohol that comes with it. So
Yeah.
that's for me. That's an 8.
Very good. I'm gonna go lower,
Mm.
and I think this has to just do with you being a hazy guy. I'm not a hazy man. I do enjoy a good haze, but I'm not. That's not my my drink of choice. I'm gonna go 7. I'm gonna knock it down from just because I do remember I like the IPA more than this. I feel like I didn't get quite as much of that diet non-alcoholic flavor in the IPA than I did this, and that might just be because maybe I'm just thinking too much about like the pine flavor, and that pairs better with the IPA than it does the hazy. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm in my head, but I'm gonna give it a 7. That's still, I would still definitely drink it. It's still really good.
7's still a good score.
It's still a good score. It's just gonna be lower on the scale from the IPA version. But I mean, don't not give me one of these if you see me out public.
Yeah.
So
I'll take one of these every day of the week.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that about sums it up. I think this is another really good option if you're trying to do a non-alcoholic journey of some kind. And it definitely, when we bought, so to pull back the curtain a little bit and give you a little bit behind the scenes, we bought a full 12-pack of these guys with the full intention of just rapid fire reviewing them. We got one review done. We had some other stuff going on, so we pushed them off to the side. And naturally, because they're in the house, we just kind of started drinking them off camera, as we do.
They're very good.
And I whenever I was like, during that sober October, whenever I was itching for like a beer or something, I would pull out a Hazy Trail Pass IPA.
Whenever you were having the shakes?
No, easy. I'm not Joshua Block, right?
Oh,
we're putting that on TikTok.
My captain.
I would pull one of these out because it tasted like a beer and it wasn't me cheating on my sober October, and it kind of hit the spot. So I have a special reverence for this beer in particular, which maybe contributed to the 8 score, but I regret nothing.
Yeah, you like what you like, and I like what I like.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
that's it.
All right, pal. Cheers.
Finish these up, baby. That's chuggable too.
Oh yeah. Any last words? Should we wrap this up?
Yeah. Remember, crack one for us. We'll crack one for you. Signing off.
All right. To dark night, we unravel flavors lore. Mosaic dreams take flight of IPAs, and we adore. Raise a toast to what's new here in the world of craft beer with Sunday sips. Sunday sips. Every pour a trip with our Sunday sips. Each note we hear as we sip and cheer. Craft beer's near. Sunday's treasures clear with our Sunday sips. Sunday sips. Every pour a trip with a Sunday.